The unveiling of Koenigsegg's latest creation named Sadair Spear represents a bold leap in hypercar engineering and a striking homage to racing heritage and family legacy in an era when many manufacturers chase electrification or hybridization. Koenigsegg remains devoted to pushing the limits of internal combustion and focusing on driver experience and uncompromising performance. The Sadair Spear is the embodiment of that ethos and a potent statement of intent. It is not just another number game machine, it is a hypercar created to dominate the track while retaining road legality and serve as a tribute to Christian von Koenigsegg's father and his final racehorse Sadair Spear in 1976. The name is intentional and symbolic, and the entire engineering effort is a statement about precision, ambition, and the balance between brutality and refinement. To begin with, this car is built on the foundations laid by the Jesko attack platform but pushed further, harder, and more extreme. Koenigsegg has reworked virtually every element of the car, from powertrain aerodynamics, weight to chassis dynamics, and cooling, to produce a machine that is as balanced as it is ferocious. At the heart lies a twin-turbocharged 5.0-liter V8 engine, the same base architecture as used in Jesko, but extensively upgraded, remapped, more aggressively cooled, and optimized for maximum output. The engine produces around 1,300 horsepower on conventional pump gas, but when fed with E85 fuel, it surges to a monstrous 1625 horsepower, thus creating a flexible performance envelope that rewards those willing to use high-performance fuel. That step up in power is not just a retune, it comes from bigger intake pathways, revised airflow management, enhancements to the intercoolers and oil cooling systems, and an additional heat exchanger dedicated to engine oil to manage peak thermal loads under sustained high stress. Despite such tremendous output, Koenigsegg has carefully managed to lighten the car relative to its predecessor, shedding roughly 35 kilograms or about 77 pounds through aggressive weight reduction strategies. They removed sound insulation, pared back non-essential comfort items, used lighter interior materials, and optimized components to be both strong and mass efficient. The resulting curb weight is around 1,385 kilograms or approximately 3,054 pounds, which pushes the power-to-weight ratio well beyond the revered 1-to-1 threshold. When running on E85, that ratio means this machine isn't just fast on paper, it is explosively quick off the line in real-world assaults on the track. To manage all that energy delivery and harness it, Koenigsegg retains its signature 9-speed light-speed transmission, or LST, which enables lightning-quick clutch engagements and gear changes with simultaneous engagement and disengagement of clutches, creating seamless shifts across its ratios. Within the Spear, however, shifting is limited to steering wheel paddles only, and the central shift mechanism is replaced by a simplified key holder interface to reduce weight complexity and draw focus to the driving experience. On the aerodynamic front, Koenigsegg's engineers have created a striking and aggressive aero package purpose-built for generating usable downforce even at track speeds while minimizing drag. Compromises the Sadair Spear features underfloor strakes, rocker louvres, extended venting, and sculpted ducting, all engineered via computational fluid dynamics to optimize airflow and pressure zones across the cars surfaces. A new active double-blade rear wing mounted atop the engine cover uses a straight profile optimized for increased downforce at lower speeds and is complemented by enhancements such as underfloor vortex elements and wheel arch louvres that help manage wake and reduce turbulent drag. In fact, the aero upgrades yield roughly 20% more downforce compared with the Jesko attack while reducing drag by up to 5%. In certain configurations, to balance the rear downforce gains, the front end sees enlarged canards, a bigger hood vent, and further louve work to manage airflow and cooling. In harmony with the underbody system's cooling improvements are substantial overall, with Koenigsegg claiming a 30% increase in total cooling efficiency. The hood opening has been enlarged, venting refined, and the rear intake scoops reworked to feed improved airflow to the heat exchangers, intercoolers, and oil cooling circuits. A small gurney flap on the leading edge of the hood vent helps create additional low pressure, which assists in drawing air through the cooling channels. While adding a touch of downforce, the front hood vent is specifically sculpted to optimize airflow exit from the front radiators, mitigating turbulence and pressure build-up under the body. The aerodynamic balance is further aided by Koenigsegg's active ride height system and a triplex damper in the front, which ensures stability in fast directional changes, and smooth steering. Feedback braking and suspension systems are upgraded to cope with the higher speeds, forces, and loads that the Spear is destined to experience. The carbon ceramic brake rotors are enhanced with improved pad materials and cooling ducting to allow for consistent and fade-resistant performance under track duress. The suspension features revised springs, dampers, and stiffer settings tuned specifically for circuit conditions, also leveraging the triplex architecture to manage pitch control under heavy braking and accelerate aggressiveness while preserving composure in corners. Tires are upgraded to Michelin Pilot Cup 2 Specification with 275 width up front and 335 at the rear to maximize grip, channeling the power and downforce appropriately to the road surface. Customers may optionally upgrade to the more aggressive Cup 2. Our specification for those planning full track usage. Koenigsegg claims that the Spear has already broken the Jesko attacks lap record around the Gotland Ring circuit, shaving off 1.1 seconds in a time of 2 minutes 55 seconds in its debut runs. That performance gains credence to the notion that this is not simply a power hike, but a holistic reinvention of the car's capability envelope. The top speed of the car is estimated at 360 km per hour, or about 224 miles per hour, a figure that aligns with the extreme nature of the machine. Though Koenigsegg emphasizes the primary goal is lap time supremacy, not headline numbers inside the cockpit, Koenigsegg has embraced a more track-centric layout, shedding non-essentials and focusing the driver's connection with the car. The seats are lightweight carbon bucket units with optional 6-point harnesses, though standard 3-point belts remain available. The typical creature comforts such as steering-mounted smart cluster display, smart center command system, USB connectivity, inductive phone charging, and the unique auto-skin opening system remain intact, so the car retains road-usable convenience despite its aggressive orientation. Soundproofing and luxury touches are minimized to save weight, but Koenigsegg deliberately did not go full-stripped race car, opting instead for a balance of usability and performance. The architecture of the vehicle remains based on a carbon fiber monocoque chassis combined with a full carbon body shell, delivering exceptional structural rigidity and lightness as befitting a hypercar in this class. Aerodynamic elements fluidly integrate into body shape to maintain both aesthetic elegance and functional aggression. It carries forward design language cues from prior Koenigsegg's, but with sharper edges, more aggressive scoops, and sculpting designed to make its purpose visible, even standing still. The decision to limit production to just 30 units underscores the exclusivity and ambition of the project. All 30 units are reportedly already allocated and sold out through private offerings well ahead of any public release. Pricing is expected to be astronomical, in the region of £3.8 million or upwards of $5 million. Depending on market's adjustments and options, the exclusivity is typical of Koenigsegg's limited production philosophy and ensures that each buyer is handpicked, often from existing clientele or distinguished collectors. The car, despite its ferocity, remains road legal globally, which presents a remarkable engineering achievement, because homologating a machine with such radical massive power and track focus in many jurisdictions is an immense challenge. Koenigsegg apparently managed to preserve airbag suspension, compliance lighting, and other regulatory equipment while aggressively optimizing every other aspect for performance. The interplay between usability and extreme performance is part of what makes this car so special. Where others build track-only weapons, the Sadair Spear is a machine that can live on the road and attack circuits immediately. It is the culmination of decades of refinement of Koenigsegg's philosophy that performance must be precise, elegant, and uncompromising. Christian von Koenigsegg himself stated that performance without compromise is their goal, and that they treat every gain as a ritual in detail. Where kilowatts shaved, kilograms, millimeters in airflow all matter, and this car embodies that mindset. Behind this project lies the story of personal homage and legacy. The naming of Sadair Spear is directly rooted in Christian von Koenigsegg's father Jesko, who in his last race rode a horse named Sadair Spear in 1976. The car thus becomes both a tribute and a statement that the legacy of speed and engineering passion endures in this newest megacar. More broadly, the emergence of this car in 2025 signals that hypercar development is far from exhausted, even in a landscape leaning toward electrification. Koenigsegg shows that there is still room at the bleeding edge for fully combustion machines. When executed with obsessive care, the Sadair Spear is not an incremental upgrade, but a redefinition of what is possible with internal combustion and aerodynamic mastery. It challenges the notion that maximum performance requires hybrid or electric assistance by showing that raw fuel power married with lightweight design and precise aerodynamics can still lead the pack. The existence of this car will push competitors to respond. Better track integration, more aggressive aero, and tighter performance envelopes. The Spear may well become a benchmark for hypercar architecture for years to come. On the technical side, the integration of the engine cooling, the aerodynamic balance, the driveline calibration, the transmission behavior, the chassis tuning, and suspension geometry all had to be reconsidered in unison. No subsystem could be changed in isolation without repercussions. The engineers walked a tightrope to ensure drivability, responsiveness, and thermal stability under extreme loads. Moreover, the fuel flexibility between pump gas 1,300 horsepower and E85 1,625 horsepower gives drivers a tactical choice, the ability to operate in more conventional environments or fully unleash the car in ideal conditions. Confers a dimension of adaptability that hybrid spirit, albeit within combustion, differentiates it from pure track monsters. It allows the car to be transported, driven on roads to circuits, and cleaned up or warmed up without burning its soul. The emotional experience of piloting such a car is central to its design. The moment one presses accelerator, the V8 scream, the torque wave, the shift response, the grip and aerodynamic bite all conspire to deliver